Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today, we would like to present all of you about our topic, historical development of Qawaid Fiqhiyyah and its compilation. First of all, my name is Syafaf Nabila binti Mohamad. I will present my part in 1.0, 2.0, 3.0 and also 7.0.
Assalamualaikum. My name is NURMAN FAIZ bin RAMLI and I will present to you the rest of the topic.
Alright, so first of all, we go through about introduction, historical development of Qawaid Fiqhiyyah and its compilation. Qawaid Fiqhiyyah concept in serving Islamic law, which is increasingly from time to current development. It's also general rule in understanding Sharia as rule that have been established by Allah for its people. Historical development of Qawaid Fiqhiyyah has existed since the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam era, Khulafah ar-Rashidin, Tabi'in, as well as today. The historical development of Qawaid Fiqhiyyah have been started from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam era. It's divided to two parts, which is legislation in Mecca and also legislation in Madinah. The Prophet spent about 13 years in Mecca. He do dakwah in secret and also dakwah openly. It started dakwah in secret about 3 years. It just focused to among the closest relative. And the second one, legislation in Madinah, which is the second stage, which begins in the one Al-Hijrah and ends after the death of the Prophet. After that, we go through about Sahabah and Tabi'in era. Sahabah era is known as era of the righteous Caliph and the great Sahabah, companion of the Prophet, which is Muslim, will expose to all news institution and also cultures. Tabi'in is the generation that create a law based on ijma'.
Let's have a look at the next point, phases of compilation and recording Qawaid Fiqhiyyah. This section can be divided into 4 eras. The first is the era of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. During this period of time, the Quran and Hadith were written and recorded with the help of Sahaba. After Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam death, many Sahaba have recorded the Quran and Sunnah. They also remembered it. Next, the Sahaba radiyallahu anhum era. The Quran was codified during Abu Bakr reign and finalized during Uthman reign, with copies of the Uthmani Mus'haf distributed throughout the Islamic Empire. The practice of narration or riwayah of Sunnah also began at this time. In the Umayyad era, there is still no collection of fatwas. The governmental system changed from caliphate to monarchy. The new Islamic countries are also still under guidance, and the first attempts at a collection of legal judgment start at this time. The fourth era is Abbasid. In this era, academics from many parts of the Islamic Empire began gathering and synthesizing the ideas of prior scholars about this period. They also tries to organize knowledge more systematically. The next topic is about myth 4th centuries after Hijrah till 12th centuries after Hijrah. This part begins with the Umayyad dynasty. This period is particularly significant in the history of fiqh and the evolution of mazhab. As a result, the pertinent political, social, and religious dimensions warrant a more thorough examination. There are several things that have affected fiqh at these times, which are the Ummah's division, the Umayyad Caliph's deviations, the ulama dispersion, and hadith fabrication. Next is the Abbasid dynasty. This period encompasses the rise of the Abbasid dynasty, which was founded by Caliph Abul Abbas as well as its consolidation and the beginning of its decline. By the end of this period, the following sources of Islamic law in the order state become widely accepted by most scholars. After that, the emergence of four Imam Mazhab. Muslims follow each other mazhab. Each mazhab has its own opinion related to fiqh. There are also mazhab with different akidah like Shia, Mu'tazila, and Khawarij. Let's have a look at the next topic, which is early 13th centuries after Hijrah until now. After the fall of the Abbasid dynasty, the Muslims were under several separate government groups. Each has its own method of government and each has an official mazhab which is used as a reference source for the implementation of Islamic law. There is also a culture of taqlid, which is the act of only following a teaching blindly without knowing what the argument or reason behind it. In the next centuries, European countries began to experience a revolution or reform, progress, and industrialization. European countries began to colonize and conquer Islamic countries by expanding their influence, religion, ideology, and customs. At that time, Muslims were realized, although it was a bit late, Islamic jurisprudence and at the same time its Sharia were revived. The awareness of Muslims toward their religion was revived and the spirits of advanced Islam of the Esban Ummah was chanted again.
So, the word conclusion that we can make from our topic, historical development of Qawaid Fiqhiyyah and its compilation is general principle of fiqh explain about general rule of Sharia, which is history of Islamic jurisprudence begins with the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the Sahabah of the Prophet, and also Tabi'in. That's all. Thank you.